So welcome back. So let's do this exercise now. We'll create a files class. Let's create a files class. Okay, I need a constructor for this, and I need a destructor for this. Okay, and obviously I need a method called get content to get the content. Okay, so the logical flow is first you have the constructor, then you have your get content, then the destructor. Okay, so let's define some properties here. I definitely need a file handler to hold the file. Then we need file name. We need file size. Then we need content to hold the content of the file. Then we need a boolean variable to say whether the file is found or not. I'll call it false. I can remove this. I can initialize these variables in the constructor. Right, the file handler I can call the file handler null. Then file found initialize to false. Okay, and I have to pass the file name to it. So the first thing that you have to do in the constructor is basically check if the file exists or not. So you can write the if condition. This is to check the file exists. So you can say file underscore exist, and you can pass in the file name. And if file exists, I want to check one more thing. Is this a file? So for this we have is file. So now you are safe to open the file. So now you can say file is found is equal to true. Okay, now the file is found because you have done these checks, okay, in the constructor. So you know the file exists. Okay, and now you are safe to check these conditions to say if the file is found, then you try to open and do some manipulations of it. If the file is found, then you are free to work with the file. Now you can use the file handler now, and you can open the file. Okay, for this you need the file name and the mode you're opening it. Okay, and you can calculate the file size. You can say file size, and it will store the size of the file. Okay, so your constructor is done. Let's get the content of the file. Okay, now we can say if file found, and we can do something about it. Okay, this is simple. You can get the content, and you can say fread. For fread you have two parameters. One is the handler, one is the file size. So you already captured this in the constructor. You have the file handler and you have the file size. So you got the content now. Then you can return the content. Else you can return no files found. Okay, let's write a destructor. Destructor again the same. If file found, then you use if close, and you use the file handler, and you can write an echo statement here, file is closed from the destructor. Okay, and that's all about writing constructor and destructor and the content method. So file1 is equal to new files, then you can say file1, and you can just say get contents, and we'll pass the file name here. Okay, let's do a quick review. So we have some properties defined, then we have a constructor which accepts a file name, that's why we are passing this value to the constructor, and we are checking whether the file exists and is a file, then we are setting one variable to true. It is initialized to false, then we are setting it to true. If it is not found, then definitely this will be always false and will not open the file, and will not open the file and will not close the file. Okay, so once this variable is set, then in the get content you try to get the content, or else we just return no files found. Okay, so first let's execute without any file creation, then we'll see whether it's able to execute properly or not. Okay, say no files found. So we create the file, let's run the file. Okay, so it's able to read the content and the file is closed from the destructor. Okay, so all the concepts that we have learned so far